All right, Pickle. Week 6 of the Texas high school football season is upon us. Okay. All right. We're friends here, right?
Let's be honest.
We're friends here. This is a large open date. There's a lot of teams off. There are only, and this is a funny thing to say, there are only 515 Texas high school football games this week.
Gasp.
And that
However will we survive?
I know. But it's like when there's normally like 650.
Yeah,
like
it's
a big dip. Like, almost a third of the state is off this week. And I'm not here to tell you that there's the normal overflowing number of bangers, right? Like I've said before, instead of like 50 bangers, we have like 20, right? Because of just the circumstances around it. With that said, if your team, and by the way, there's a fair chance that your favorite team is off this week.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're looking for a game to go to, or you're looking for a game to stream on Dave Campbell's Texan Live,
real fast, I was going to say, like, for real this time, if your team is off and you haven't taken a Friday night to stay home and try watching Dave Campbell's Texas football tonight, like, now is the time to do it.
You're
because
exactly right.
You don't have to hone in on one game. We're cycling through games all across the state. So, like, this week is made for Dave Campbell's Texas football tonight.
It really is. So if your team's off, spend your Friday night with us. If you want to pay attention to a few games that are going to have major impacts across the state of Texas, here are my top 10 Texas high school football games of the week for Week 6. We will start in Sheldon, at Sheldon ISD. It's actually technically Houston, as the state-ranked number 21 Sheldon CE King Panthers take on the number 2 Galena Park North Shore Mustangs in a state-ranked matchup. 21-6A has 4 state-ranked teams, and we're going to start to sort through them. Now, I want to be clear. North Shore is the favorite here.
Yes.
They have to be the favorite in this one. But I do think CE King, even with a scare last week, is worth paying attention to. Receiver Christopher Barnes has been very good for them, a real star for them, and their defense, kind of last week notwithstanding, against Humble, has been pretty good. But they're taking on a North Shore team that, they look like they're ready to play for another state championship. They have looked every bit the part of a state champion. Caleb Bailey's back. Devin Sanchez patrolling the secondary. Their defense has been exceptional. We will start to sort out District 21-6A. This is an important game. If CE King can pull the stunner, let's talk about how everything breaks down. But it is a state-ranked matchup in the Houston area tomorrow night. Now,
I love this game.
I've been
hyped about this game.
Let's go to Mason, America, at the Puncher Dome in Mason, as the 4th-ranked Wall Hawks visit the unbeaten, I said unbeaten, Mason Cowpunchers, who, by the way, it's been a minute. Like, they had a couple down years, but Mason's back, y'all, and they're back doing the things that they've kind of hung their hat on, which is defense, which has been very, very good this year, and they are running the stinking ball.
Dude, this game is going to go by so quick. If you want like one of the best player-on-player matchups, not that they're going to be playing at the same time, but just back and forth, Wall's fullback, Nathan Pepper, who rules. Again, if you think fullback should be in
Cousin
Texas.
Nathan.
Yes.
Cousin Nathan.
And then Mason running back Ryan Todd.
Ryan Todd is a stud.
Those two are going to just run the ball all over the place. Fullback, quick game. This rocks.
This is one of those games that if for some reason you're in the area, that kind of Hill Country, Concho Valley kind of in-between area, and you have the means to go to the Puncher Dome, this is worth your time. It'll be a great setting, and it's flex bone versus wing T, and you're right. The running games here between Nathan Pepper and Ryan Todd are going to be a lot of fun to watch. Which defense can step up in a big way? That will go a long way towards determining this game.
I might reach out to our buddy down there at Hill Country Sportsnet and see if we can get some of those highlights for Texas football tonight for solely my own personal enjoyment.
Oh, absolutely. Let's go to Gordon. Big 6-man matchup of unbeatens. Tonight, as the number 3 ranked Abbott Panthers take on the Borden County Coyotes in a matchup of unbeatens. So Borden County, if you don't follow six-man football particularly closely, you're probably thinking, Borden County, I seem to remember them being very good. They have been very good. Historically, they have been excellent. The past couple of years have been a little bit of a disappointment, but they are back, and they are back and rolling 5-0 to start the year. Trey Ritchie is one of the very best coaches out there, and they've got a playmaker in Ishmael Rodriguez, who is a stud, a do-it-all, two-way star who's worth the price of admission. Taking on an Abbott team that has got plenty of playmakers themselves, and this is going to be a real test for them going forward. Abbott has looked every bit the part of a state championship contender. Riley Sestala has been really, really good to start the year. Joe Pavelka, they have got Paxton Pajovsky. They have got a number of dudes, a number of ways to beat you, and that defense is kind of classic Abbott defense. Their defense has been very good. The other thing to keep in mind, though, this is a non-district finale. At least, let me see if it's a non-district finale for Borden County. I know it's a non-district finale for Abbott. This is a non-district finale for Borden County. Next week, Borden County is an open date, and next week, Abbott takes on Aquila, who's presently unbeaten and also state ranked. Is there a look-ahead factor? Keep in mind, this game, Borden County and Abbott, really sets the stage for district play next week. Let's go to Columbus, another state-ranked matchup, as the unbeaten Madisonville Mustangs take on the unbeaten Columbus Cardinals in Columbus, America. We're going to talk with Russell Urbanky, the head coach of the Madisonville Mustangs, here in just a moment, but they are off to their first unbeaten 5-0 start since 2017, and they have been really fun to watch. I don't know if you don't know this, Madisonville has a Texas Tech commit on their roster in Lorenzo Johnson, who's a two-way star for them. Their quarterback Ty Williams has been very good as well. Gonna have to put on their working boots against Columbus, who is rolling right now, and it's all Schobels. Quarterback,
what's new?
Yeah, quarterback Adam Schobel is exceptional. John Schobel leads the way on the defensive side. This team is rocking and rolling. So if Madisonville can walk in, they are the 4A, take on a 3A, but if they can walk in and get a win, that'll be a real feather in the cap for the Mustangs. We'll talk with their head coach coming up here in just a moment. Let's go to the coast and a really intriguing district matchup as Three Rivers welcomes in second-ranked Refugio into a Division II. Three Rivers is a team that we probably haven't talked a ton about, but they're 4-1 to start the year and have been really fun to watch, especially offensively. Their offense has been outstanding to start the year, putting up about 40 points a game. And there's a lot to like about the way that they go about their business. Derek Lancaster is the name to know, the big receiver out wide. But their senior quarterback, Caden Solis, has been exceptional start year. That Solis to Lancaster matchup is going to be one to watch. Taking on Refugio. And Refugio, we know what they're about. They're going to run the ball. Ernest Campbell has been very good. Their defense has been strong to start the year as well. Can Refugio get off on the good foot in a critical district matchup that I think... Do I want to say this?
It could decide the district.
That's what I want to make sure I don't put my foot in my mouth. I'm not forgetting. I mean, I think Ganado will have something to say about it. But those three, this is the first of, like, let's say a round robin between these three of Ganado, Refugio, and Three Rivers. So fascinating game there at Three Rivers there at Bulldog Stadium. Now, let's go to the Big Country. The Battle of 377 as the Stephenville Yellow Jackets, 9th ranked in 4A Division I, take on the Brownwood Lions, 7th ranked in 4A Division I. This is a non-district contest, but it matters a lot for both of these teams.
And coaches.
Brownwood has been exceptional thanks in large part to their quarterback, Ike Hall. He's been very good, and they have come up with big plays when they need it most. Their defense has... lived a little dangerously last week against Waco Connolly. They escaped with a win. But if you want to talk about living dangerously, nobody lives dangerously more than Stephenville. Stephenville has, I believe, they had an 11-point loss to Abilene Wiley. The other 4 of their games have been decided by a touchdown or less, including 2 one-point games. This team has a knack for the dramatic. Tate Maruska, their running back, and then their quarterback, Ryan Gafford, very strong. what I want to see is, can the Stephenville defense, which has been touched up in the past, can it match up against Eichhall and this Brownwood offense? Fun matchup, rivalry matchup. Stephenville has dominated the series in the past few years. I believe they've won 5 of the last 6, but Brownwood would love a little bit of revenge here as Brownwood takes on Stephenville. Then let's go to the Houston area, another top 25 matchup, as the number 8 Katy Tigers take on the number 25 Katy Jordan Warriors.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
And a huge matchup for District 19 6A, which is all jumbled. And believe it or not, first place in the district is up for grabs. Katy Jordan is one of the real surprises, second-year varsity program, but they are not an accident. They're loaded, okay? Chad Gasper, their running back, is very good. Andrew Marsh on the outside is a stud, and they play some defense. This Katy Jordan team has got dudes, okay? Taking on the team that's the champ that runs the camp, right? Katy. Katy's the team that you gotta beat to win this district. And look, Chase Jonesy and Tremaine Hill, they're running the ball as they normally do, and you're never gonna believe it, but their defense has been very good. Katy's secondary can be beat, and that's gonna be what's up to Katy Jordan to expose that secondary. Fascinating matchup here. A real prove-it game here for Katy Jordan taking on Katy. They're in Katy, of all places. Then, let's go to Buddy Eccles Field in Coppell, as first place in District 6A is on the line as the unbeaten Coppell Cowboys welcome in the 3-1 Lewisville Fighting Farmers.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
There's a lot here. Lewisville's awesome.
Including emotion.
Lewisville's really good. Vyron Ellison, their running back, is a stud. Ethan Terrell, their quarterback, is a Jackson State commit. He is a stud. They have got playmakers, and what you saw last week against Flower Mound, it looks like their defense has started to round into form. That's kind of the case for Coppell, too. Coppell, first couple of games, got into these shootouts, but the past couple of weeks, including last week against Plano West, the defense really tightened up. And they got a quarterback in Edward Griffin, who's very strong. Omiran Mwabaki is a star running back, as well as Xavier Mosley. A lot of this depends on which of these defenses has figured things out. I have said, and I'll say it here, I said it on Tep and Step, I'll say it here. If Coppell wins this game, I'll wear my letter jacket on Monday.
Let's go.
Coppell and Lewisville live on TexanLive.com.
Let's go.
Let's go to the Houston area for another kind of deep cut game. As the number 1 team in the private school ranks, Houston St. Thomas takes on Houston Kincaid. The Falcons are 4-1 to start the year. Their lone loss on the year is the season opener to Jasper, but they have woken up in a big way since then, especially offensively, because they are finding ways to get the ball to their junior dual threat quarterback, Cooper Chambers, who is a lot of fun to watch. They've got some playmakers on the outside as well, most notably their wide receiver, Jordan Manuel. Going up against the number 1 team in the private school ranks in Houston St. Thomas. Houston St. Thomas has run a real gauntlet and has looked really good doing it. They got a big win over St. John's, got a big win over Austin Regents, which is a kind of win you hang your hat on. And their offense has really been hard to stop because they can beat you in a variety of different ways. They've got Johan Cardenas, our private school cover boy, who is off to a really nice start. But their dual threat quarterback, Dante Lewis, is a name to know down there. This is going to be a fun matchup. I think it could end up being a shootout there. But Houston St. Thomas and Houston Kincaid is a really fun private school matchup going on in the Houston area. And finally, let's go down to Belmead, America, as the number 8 ranked in 3A Division I, Yoakum Bulldogs visit Waco, La Vega. This is an opportunity for Yoakum to really prove themselves, punching up against a big physical ball club. This is a Yoakum team that I've been very impressed with, specifically their quarterback, Zachary Taylor, their Zachary Taylor has been really fun. The Army commit is just kind of the headliner of a bevy of really talented playmakers that they've got. La Vega is interesting here. They're 3-2. And their defense, which is strange to say because that's always been the calling card for Coach Don Hyde, Their defense has been touched up recently, and that's going to be a real case. I mean, they gave up 42 to Lorena. They gave up 48 to Waco Conley. So explosive offenses have had their way with them. Now, they've got their own style of playmakers. Junior Thornton, their quarterback, has been very strong out of the gate, and Bryson Rowland, their running back, is doing Bryson Rowland things. Fascinating matchup. La Vega at home is tough to beat, and especially taking on a team that is smaller than them. Does depth play an issue in this one? That's a really fascinating cross-classification matchup. And then they are my Texas high school football games of the week. You can find complete coverage of all the games at TexasFootball.com, and make sure you watch Dave Campbell's Texas Football tonight, Friday night at 7:30 p.m. on TexanLive.com and on YouTube.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.